Record. Okay. Alrighty, Maisha, can you tell me our vision?
That's a good question. Not really.
No? Isabel,
No.
how about you? No? Alrighty. Fine, I'll tell you again. So our vision is to elevate people's growth mindset so we all achieve higher ambitions. Please write this down in your notes. I will be quizzing you next time around. And our mission is to guide first generation high school students so they will pursue and obtain a college education. Okay? Please write it down, take a picture, let me know when you're ready. Please know this should be by week 3, we should be on it, okay? Alrighty. All right, so can I have you guys tell me one dominant feeling and one of your most treasured memories? I will go first. I'm feeling hopeful. Hopeful. And then one of my most treasured memories was getting my cat. I love my cat. I will be showing you pictures of my cat anytime I get. If you ever ask me if I have a cat, if I like a cat, Bunny is all up in the business. His name is Bunny. He's really cute. He's a cute little tuxedo cat. Love him. Alrighty. Antonio, can I start with you?
Treasure memory, right?
Yes, and a feeling.
Yeah, my feeling is optimistic because I'm optimistic, and my treasure memory, I think like I don't know, to be honest. I'm sorry.
Okay. Alrighty. Isabel? Were you able to unmute Isabel? I unmuted you because.
Oh,
Can you
sorry.
hear me?
It's just, yeah, it's like a little bit loud. Sorry.
Can you tell
But
us your most treasured memory and a feeling, please?
She put it in the chat, Valerie.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Alrighty. Antonio, Maisha.
I'm feeling very hopeful today. And one of my treasured memories would probably be like when I went to Hawaii this summer, we went up, I forgot the mountain name, but it was, I think, Haleakala, I think. And so we drove up and we went up 11,000 feet above ground and we watched the sunset and it was very pretty. And we watched it with family and friends. So it was like, nice, it was like nice breeze and then the sunset just slowly going down. It was very pretty. It was really nice.
A Hawaiian sunset sounds like a really good treasured memory. Alrighty. Chelsea? Pereira?
I'm feeling hopeful today as well. And I don't know what my most treasured memory is. So.
Alrighty. Kayla?
I'm feeling glad today. And I guess my most treasured memory would be visiting family in El Salvador for the first time.
Pavi?
I guess my most treasured, okay, first my feeling, I'm kind of nervous, but also optimistic. I have a lot of work, but I'm getting it done. And one of my most treasured memory is I went to India like 5 years ago, and me and my uncle went to get samosas, which are like these little fried snacks, and we went in like the middle of the night. It was very nice. It was raining.
Guys?
I'm feeling glad today, and one of my most treasured memories is like waking up years ago and going to the ranch early morning with my grandpa.
You guys are all picking these like out of America, and my most treasured is my cat. I should start treasuring better things, huh? Leslie?
I'm feeling optimistic, and one of my most treasured memories is probably when I used to live in Oregon, and it was just a really nice experience to live over there with some family.
I think I got all students. Can I go with Chelsea?
For me, I would say I'm tired, but also thankful. And my most treasured memories, are probably of my mom. She passed about a year and a half ago, so like any memories of her are really like kept in my heart pretty strong.
Oh, I'm sorry about your mom. Jocelyn?
I'm feeling comfortable. And one of my most treasured memories, I would have to agree with most of the students, is going to Mexico for the first time. That was fun.
All right, I think that's everyone. If I didn't get you, please tell me. I don't want to skip over anybody. Okay. Thank you for sharing, everyone. I'd love to hear about.
Did Kayla go? Chelsea asked in the chat.
I think Kayla did go. I think she said that when she went to visit her family in El Salvador. Am I right? Or am I like giving her somebody else?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Alrighty. Thank you. Alrighty. So the group of our study groups is to increase our connections with other white scholars. This one's a little bit more about your student success than it is about actual like college apps. So it's a little bit more personal. So to increase your connections, to improve your student skills. Okay, sorry. And to guide you to practice your growth mindset. So not as large scale as your growth mindset workshop, but a little bit touching on that. So yeah, okay. Prepping for the session, please take notes. I cannot emphasize that enough. I will be asking you little small questions to check for understanding, just so that I know that I'm getting all the points across and that everybody is getting what I'm saying, because sometimes I like to ramble and just, I don't get to the point. So please take notes. Jose gave you very detailed slides. These are all Jose's slides. So he gave you very detailed slides about taking notes. Take notes. Why do we need to take notes? I think you guys had a session about this. So I hope that you know the answer to why you take notes. Have something to review, have proven evidence, and to demonstrate respect. He did take a lot of time to do this. He did this before he left. He made me these slides. So I'm very thankful for that, but please take note so that he knows that you guys are learning something when I check in with him to tell him about study group and how everything's going. As you guys know, please use your channels on Slack. Don't text me. You can call me, but Slack is better and I'll answer you a lot faster, because if I can't answer you, you're just going to be left in the limbo. So Slack me, use your channel. Use emojis to acknowledge. Please acknowledge my text. Sometimes I feel like you don't get them and I'm like, oh my gosh, is my phone working? Am I like my off Wi-Fi? Like what's happening? So please let me know you got my message, just so that I know that you got the information and I'm just not left wondering. And also use the threads. Those are just a lot easier to keep track of everything, so that I can go back and just refer to that one message instead of going back through a bunch of our messages and finding the one. So use your threads. Alrighty, as a reminder, your Be College Ready is once a week, your study group also once a week, and coaching sessions once a month. And to attend your growth mindset, I think everyone has signed up for their growth mindset. Am I right? Thumbs up? Yeah, okay. Alrighty. So our group learning agreement, to show your camera. I'm telling you, I'm dyslexic sometimes. I'm telling you. Show your face, turn on your camera, be present and engaged with me and group members, give your ideas a chance, but also it's okay to pass. So like earlier when I was asking about your treasured memory and you don't really have one, it's okay to pass. Respect people's stories and contributions, be trustworthy. what does this one say? By making sure our staying stays in the session. Sorry, I have 2 monitors and this one kind of cuts off. And take notes and take time to learn. Please invest in your learning. I cannot
Valerie,
emphasize that enough.
Maisha says it's 4:45 in the chat.
Thank you, Maisha. Alrighty, tell me when it's 5 now, okay? Just give me 15 minutes, okay? Alrighty, thank you. Our session will be successful if you improve your professional email skills and etiquette, and you review how to get your recommendation request. So today we're going to be talking about our letters of rec, and we're going to be going a little bit over emails just because they go hand in hand, especially if you're trying to ask somebody that's not directly in front of you for letters of recommendation. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to send professional emails and how to ask for your recommendation letters, okay? Okay, I don't know why he has another feeling check. I hope you're okay still. Hope everyone's still hopeful and glad. Okay, letters of recommendation. This is week 4 of study group. And how do we send a professional email? Does anybody have any ideas how to send a professional email? Any clues? Can I have somebody tell me what's one thing that you would find on a professional email? Anyone? Isabel? Is that a hand? Is that a hand? Yeah.
I don't know if like someone else already said this, but like greeting.
A greeting, yes. Perfect.
Ending the. Can I go?
Yes.
Okay, and ending it with like your signature, like best regards or sincerely, and then first and last name.
Alrighty. So these are the components of a pro email. So first of all, you need to know who you're sending it to. Please write this down. I cannot emphasize that enough. You can look through it, can look back at it, and use it for when you're sending me an email. Please. Emails are not like text, and sometimes we use them that way. But the first email should always be professional, should always have a recipient, should have a subject, a salutation. So be mindful of gender and the title. So for example, for me, you wouldn't send me like Miss Valerie. I'm not Miss Valerie, I'm just Valerie. Please don't call me Miss, that makes me feel so old. But for anybody like a teacher, you would use their title. If it's doctor, if it's Miss, Mr., keep that in mind and make sure you use that when you're greeting them. And then the content, make sure that you at least say something nice to them, like, I hope you had a good weekend, or I hope this email finds you well. Something to like let them know that you're just not using them. You also care about them to some extent. A clear action if it's requested. So if you need something from them, make sure that it's in the email. Make sure that it's like within its own little bracket so that you're not, so that I don't have to search your email too much to find what I'm looking for, if that makes sense. Make sure there's a closing. So like Maisha said, that regards, best, and your signature. So always put your name, your last name. And if you have one of these, I don't know if you can see my mouse, you can. If you have one of these, I would recommend you use it or get into the habit of using one. If you guys need help figuring out how to do that, let me know and I'll be more than happy to show you how to do it on your own email. Any questions about this? Any comments, concerns? Can I get a show of like thumbs to tell me that you're good on notes, that you've gotten everything down? Okay. Kayla, Chelsea, Gael, Javi? Okay. Chelsea, you're good? Okay. Okay. 1 second. Alrighty, Antonio's good. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm gonna move on. Everyone's ready? Okay. Now we're going to get into how you request a letter of recommendation. So how do you make a request? can I get a volunteer to tell me how you would make your request? And just unmute yourself and tell me because I really can't see all of you.
Kindly sending out like a email, maybe.
Yes. Mm-hmm. An email
You could like talk to them in person, like
in
after school
person.
or
Yes.
office hours.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You have to ask. That's the first thing you have to ask. And you have to ask in advance. I cannot emphasize that enough. I've had students ask me for a letter of recommendation the day before it's due. And I'm stressed. Like I get stressed. Cannot emphasize enough how stressed I get when people ask me that. Like, please ask in advance so that you get a thoughtful letter, a letter that actually represents who you are. Because if you're rushing the person, they're not going to give you the best that they can give you, right? So ask in advance and ask nicely, please. Ask in person, phone or email. So I think Kayla said to ask in person and Maisha said to ask via email. Yeah. So yes. And ask order of high to low emotional connection. So I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I'm pretty sure that it means that if you know the person a little bit better, you would want to do it mostly in person. And if it's somebody more professional, you would do it through email. So like a teacher, if you really know this teacher, you would ask them in person. That way it just feels like a more personal connection and she really like gets to see you and you can ask questions and help guide the teacher. And if it's more like a doctor, I guess you wouldn't ask a doctor for a letter of recommendation, but you would ask your doctor for specific things. So you can email him to ask him for your, for example, like a doctor's note for like your school. That way you don't really have to go back in person to ask him for that, right? Sorry about the noise. Okay. Ask for one-on-one privately. So if you're asking a teacher, I would go after school to ask them. I would go before class. Anytime that isn't during class while they're trying to teach you something, because then they're really not going to write you one or they're just going to be annoyed. I know that from experience, not because I asked the teacher, but because I've seen students ask teachers while we're in class and they're like, please wait. So ask privately. Okay. And know what you're asking. So usually what I like to do is I like to tell them what the letter of recommendation is first. And then I give them like, you don't have to do this, but I do this. I give them a letter type thing that bullet points the things that I've done for the specific thing that I'm asking for. So when I was asking for letters of rec for college, I was asking my counselor. So obviously she has so many students. So I told her what I did throughout high school. I specified, I gave her, like I did Upward Bound in high school and I told her like, this is what I did. This is what I learned. These are the things that it taught me and things like that. Just so that they have more of a personalized thing to go off of to recommend you for these things that you're asking for. Does that make sense to everyone? Can I get a show of thumbs? I know I ramble a lot. Okay. Alrighty. And follow the teachers or school's letter of request process, such as Google Forms. I don't know if any of your teachers that you've encountered have these types of regulations or your school has any types of regulations. Some schools do have like a specific, link. So you would put in an email for the teacher that you're requesting and then they'll send them out something. Or you could just ask them in person and you submit it yourself. So make sure that you know what you're looking for and how they're gonna get that letter to you, okay? And show appreciation. Jose was big on that, you guys know that, and I am starting to become big on that. Always make sure to say thank you. Always make sure to like show some sort of gratitude towards your teachers because they're doing this out of the kindness of their heart. They really do have a lot on their plate and just taking the time to say thank you in a very personal way just shows the type of people you are, right? I think that one's pretty straightforward. Okay. All right. So this is where you would start taking, I hope you've been taking notes, but these are guiding questions to help you make your request. So what do you need? What are you applying to and why is it important to you? So what do you need? So exactly what they're asking you. What type of letter of recommendation do you need? What needs to be on that letter of recommendation for you? You know what I mean? That one's pretty straightforward. You're asking for a letter of rec. Why is this person a good recommender for you? So usually you ask people that know you really well, or somebody that knows the subject you're trying to go into really well, somebody who knows you on a personal level, or somebody who knows you on an academic level, right? So why is this person good for you? For example, like let's say you want to go into psychology once you get to college. You would ask your psychology teacher, if you have one, I had one, to write your letter of recommendation. One, because they know the subject really well and they know how you did in their class. So that's why they're a good recommender for that. And you want to go into psychology. So it just tells the colleges that you're applying to that you are already looking for things in that field. Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah, okay. And then what do they need to do? So always propose a deadline. So one thing that I've had to work on is telling people like a specific deadline, because obviously you want to give yourself enough time to be able to submit it, to look over it, and you want to make sure that everything that you need is on there. So you want to make sure that you have enough time and they have enough time to write you something good. So always have at least 2 weeks. I would recommend 2 weeks in advance before your due date, right? And even go the step forward and make it 3 weeks so that you have an extra week to like cushion just in case the teacher can't do it in those 2 weeks or whatever that would be. And then gives all the details of what you need. So of course, what questions need to be on there, like what questions they need to answer. Some of them, like I said before, have their own set of questions, and some are just very like free flowing type letters of rec, but you want to make sure that you know which one you're looking for. The platform that they're going to be submitting to, are they giving it to you, or are they submitting to a school directly via email, via phone, however it is? Make sure you know that and make sure you tell them that, and make sure you know the deadline, right? The deadline for when you need it and the deadline for when it's due. So those could be two different things. The deadline for when you need it is, like I said, the cushion one. So sorry, I have a hiccup. One, to give you time to look over it and to make sure that everything's on there, or the one that is actually due, when it's due. So yeah, follow up and thank them. Of course, always say thank you. Cannot emphasize that enough. Does anybody need more time to write anything on this slide down? No? Okay. See a lot of head nods. Chelsea, you're good? Yeah, okay. All right. I didn't know this had more transitions. Sorry, guys. Okay. Why isn't it transitioning? Oh my gosh, I'm the worst at technology. See? Now my whole different slide. Okay. So Jose has made an example for you guys of what a good letter, or what a okay looks like. So can somebody read this for me? Or at least like the first part of it? Gael, can you read it for me?
Okay, I'll read it. Or
You want to
Yeah.
read it? You want?
Oh,
Okay.
she could read if you want.
You can read if you want.
okay. Okay, I'll read it then. Okay, subject letter recommendation request, deadline November 15th, body. Dear Miss Smith, I hope you have been well. I am currently applying to colleges. I have important application deadlines in about 3 months, and I'm trying to be proactive and organized. Of all the teachers I've had, I believe you know me the best because you witnessed my academic improvement in your English 1A class. I really enjoyed the perspectives about writing you offered. I really tried hard to do well in your class. I attended your tutorings after school and asked for feedback often. Ms. Smith, I see you as an important figure in my life, and so I would like to request for you to write 2 letters of recommendations for me, one for USC and one for Stanford University. They are both due December 15th. Please let me know by next Friday, October 23rd, if you'll be able to write these recs for me. I am happy to provide more information or answer any questions you have. Thank you for giving your time and consideration. I hope you have a beautiful day. Sincerely, Johnny D. Also, it's 5 o'clock.
Thank you. Okay. So what does this letter of recommendation have that makes it so good? Or not this letter of recommendation, what am I saying? This email have that makes it so good? Gael, can you tell me one component of it?
Like deadlines, like for by when she needs it,
Mm-hmm.
and like how she expects it.
Mm-hmm. Chelsea? When, yeah.
I guess she gave like some backup info about like what she had to do in her class.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Isabel had her hand raised.
Thank you. Isabel?
I think Chelsea already said this, but like, I don't know. But like, why a person is a good recommender, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That was like kind of answered in like the first paragraph, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. So Jose actually thought you could make it better because you can shorten it and make it just what you need to do, right? So there's not a lot of fluffy language. Thank you everyone for telling me. So here, Javi, did you raise your hand?
Yeah, isn't the dates different though? Like on top it says November 15th, and then on the second paragraph it says December 15th.
So remember how I told you, I'm assuming that the reason why there's 2 different dates is because one is the person's deadline and one is the school's deadline.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So this one, do you guys see the difference? How this one's a little longer versus this one, it has just the things that need to be on there. So that way the teacher isn't reading a bunch of fluffy language that she doesn't need to know, and she's just looking for what you need. So you need 2 letters of recommendation, one for USC and one for Stanford. They're both due. This teacher is the best candidate because they witnessed their academic improvement. They attended tutoring. This is what the student did that can help the teacher write this letter. They have a deadline for the teacher to inform them, and they are happy to provide more information. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Sincerely, Maria, right? Versus this one, it's just really long. It's like telling you, like, I'm currently applying for colleges. Like, obviously, you're applying for colleges. You have a letter of recommendation for USC and Stanford. So they don't need to know that information. And the teacher already over here, you already wished them a good day. So it's just more to the point. Does that make sense to everyone? You're not wasting your time and their time making fluffy language when you can just get to the point. Okay. Alrighty. Do you guys want to take a break now, or do you guys want to take a break in a little bit? It's up to you guys. Anybody? Okay, then we're just gonna take a break later. Okay. Alrighty. So this is an example of a effective follow-up. So this person obviously already agreed to be the recommender. To make the process smoother, I've included my current resume and I attached a questionnaire to remind you of my achievements and strengths. Here's what you need to know in brief. Recommendations for Stanford and USC. They included the links, and I hope to study mechanical engineer with a minor in philosophy regardless of where I end up. Stanford is my #1 school currently, and I like to take classes at the school for supplement my studies. So this is not a typo. This is actually like some schools have little smaller colleges within the school. So they are specifying the college that they want to get into. So that helps as well. That's it. Again, thank you for doing this for me. And please let me know if there's anything else you need and you have any questions. Sincerely, Maria. So I'm going to put this in the chat. This is something that is a resource for you guys when you guys are writing any letter, anything like this. He like basically breaks everything down for you guys. I can show you guys what it does. So how to ask for a letter of recommendation for colleges, step-by-step guide for students. I don't know why it took me all the way down. Okay. So I think this is really cool. I didn't know about this until like literally an hour ago. So this basically tells you a step-by-step process of how to get like recommendations from teachers. It tells you how to write them. It tells you how to get started, how to choose the right teacher. So it's like basically like a whole guide of everything that I'm telling you is on here. So this is a really good resource for you guys, and you guys can feel free to use this. Ugh, I hate ads. When you guys are actually asking, okay? So everything I said is on here already. So this is where I got my information from. Any questions about this website so far? No? Okay. And where's my slide? There it is. Okay. So you guys see how I told you guys that when I was doing it, I included my resume for them and like a type of thing for them. So obviously they're asking you to do the same here, and they're also giving you a questionnaire. This is an extra step. You give them a bunch of questions about yourself and you answer them in the best of your ability in the most detail that you can and give that to them. So just basically what I'm saying is give them background information about yourself so that you are not giving this teacher like any room for error or any room for confusion as to who you are as a student, right? Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. Also, always remember to give them the links to the website you want to get them to, okay? Alrighty, let's take a break because I need one and I think you guys need one too. Okay, come back in 3 minutes at 5:11. Okay, everyone, please come back. Okay. So I'm going to put you guys in breakout rooms to practice with one of the advisors. So for the advisors, you guys have 3 students each, and then 2 will stay with me. So they're just going, you guys are going to be practicing writing your own email to your teacher to ask her for a recommendation based off what you guys have on your note. Does that make sense? Yeah. And you guys will have 15 minutes to do that, and then we'll come back and we'll close it out. Sound good? Yeah. If you guys have any questions, the advisor should be able to help you, and make sure that you guys share out in your groups, like what you guys came up with. Okay. Sound good? Alrighty. Okay. You guys are staying with me because the advisors already have 3 students. Okay. Alrighty. So we're
I
going
was really
to be.
confused. I thought there was supposed to be like a button, and I was like, wait.
Because I didn't get it either. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because if I put you guys in a breakout room, it doesn't let me assign myself to it, so I wouldn't be able to go in. So
Okay.
I just keep you guys in the main room, if that's okay. Alrighty. So we're gonna practice writing our own email to our teachers to ask them for a letter of recommendation. Feel free to write that out, and then we'll share out together. Okay.
So we're writing one all together, or we're all having our own?
We're gonna write one together.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll be your note keeper, and you guys will tell me what I need to write.
Okay.
Okay.
So wait, it can just be like a basic format. It doesn't have to be detailed, right?
So it doesn't
Or
have to
like-
be detailed in terms of like school.
Yeah, because like, do you want us to like pretend like we're some person, like create a person who's like writing a letter?
No, you can just be yourself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for the sake of this, you'll be me so that you guys don't have to pick who goes. You'll be
Okay.
me. All right. So who are we writing this to?
Jose,
Okay.
because we both
So-
know him.
Dear, what are we calling him?
Jose?
Dear Jose.
Okay.
Yeah, just Jose.
Dear Jose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We could be
Why are you
like,
applying?